the Toronto Raptors, giving them props, especially Kawhi Leonard, who's been challenged and questioned and doubted for the past year or so, going out there and leading the Toronto Raptors to the first championship in the nation's basketball history, which dates back to 1995. That was my first year on the NBA beat, and it was the Raptors' first year in the NBA. But I also want to give some props to my man, Rob Parker, my partner. He's trying to act like he's sleeping up in here. He about to get it. But I'm going to give him some props. He was right. He predicted the Raptors in 6. He wants to stick out his chest and say, no KD, no title.
That's right.
No, hold on.
I'm awake now.
No.
I'm awake now.
Just like you got your 8-minute spiel, I get my 8-minute spiel. And for those of you that just might be tuning in to the Odd Couple, Rob Parker feeling himself today, head huge. It took 6 of us to push him through the door because his head is so big today. He went off for 8 minutes about how Steph Curry is not, quote unquote, that guy. Okay? Whatever that means. I guess James Harden, who Rob called the best player in the world, is that guy, even though he's never been to the finals. Okay? But let me set the record straight. Let me set the record straight on Steph Curry. And then you can try to respond, Mr. Parker. First and foremost, there is this narrative that Steph Curry doesn't get it done in the NBA Finals. But here are the facts. And let me tell you something. Broussard does not bring feelings to a fact fight. I bring truth. And here's the truth. Steph's been in 5 NBA Finals. 3 times he's led the Warriors in scoring. Steph Curry, in 28 finals games, he averages 26.5 points a game. More than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's finals average. More than Kobe Bryant's finals average. More than Larry Bird's finals average. More than Magic Johnson's finals average. More than Dwayne Wade's finals average. Oh, but he doesn't show up. This year because the Warriors were so injury depleted. No. So stop ripping on Steph. And here's the deal, folks. Nobody save the GOAT, Michael Jordan, could stand up to the scrutiny of today, where we have debate shows and we debate every single possession. All right? We didn't have that in the 80s. We didn't have that in the 90s. We didn't have that in the early 2000s. So all we remember are the good things. So we're going to jump on Steph for averaging 30 points in the finals because he missed a 30-foot shot at the end of the game. Rob Parker likes to jump on Steph Curry because, his team gave up a 3-1 lead, the only team in NBA history to lose the finals after leading 3-1. Well, Magic Johnson, with a healthy and a prime Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, got swept in the finals in 1983. Well, I tell you what, as much as I'd hate to give up a 3-1 lead, I would hate even more to be swept. Mike should be dropped.
On what?
Thank you.
On meaningless numbers. This is who you are, Chris. They're meaningless. Because the two numbers you refuse to talk about are the 2 big zeros that Steph Curry has, which is 0 MVP finals. All right, he hasn't been the finals MVP.
He's got 2 in the league.
No, I'm talking about the finals. He's 0.
But he's got 2 in the league.
And for all the shots you talk about, he's 0 for 8 when the game really matters in the postseason. You need a big shot.
No,
he's 0 for 8.
The game
with
matters
20
for
seconds
48
left.
minutes.
No, it does.
It don't matter for 4 seconds.
And here's the other thing. You talk about all the injuries. The bottom line is, despite everything that went on last night, Steph Curry stood up and had a chance to be the hero, to be the player you keep pretending he is with fraudulent numbers. All he has to do is knock down a meaningful
30-footer.
That's what he does. You told me he changed the damn game.
He did.
But he can't make a 30-footer when it matters. So he didn't change the game.
Name one
now you're
person
saying,
that on demand can make a 30-footer.
That's what he's supposed to be about. You know what? He couldn't do it. So you could talk about all the other stuff. Steph Curry could have changed that series, changed the narrative about him. He could have made his legend even bigger by making that shot, Chris, and he didn't make it. He doesn't make those shots, and that's the issue I have.
I
don't care about empty stats. Stop it.
I guess only
when I want to see him make the shot when they need it.
So the first 47 minutes of the game don't matter.
No. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
If he doesn't make that shot,
it doesn't matter.
He's supposed to be that. He's supposed to be that good.
The first 47
he's not that good. He's not
of
that
the
guy.
NBA game.
He is not that guy.
So now he's not even that good.
I said he's not that guy. He's not the guy that you're.
What is that guy? What is that?
That guy.
Is he not a top 20 player of all time?
That guy who can make a shot to win it when it matters.
Is he a top 20 player of all time?
I was in Cleveland when Michael Jordan made that shot to advance.
Who said he was Michael Jordan?
He's not. He's not of that caliber.
I know he's not. Who said he was?
I didn't say you said. I'm saying.
Is he a top 20 player?
That's the guy I'm talking about.
Is he a top 20
Maybe
player?
top 25 or something. I'd have
is
to
he
take
a top
look.
20?
I'd have to take a look at my list. I don't have it in front of me.
Is Charles Barkley a top 20?
I don't have.
Is Charles Barkley in your top 20?
Charles was probably in my top 20.
And Steph Curry's not better than Charles Barkley?
I just think Steph needs more help than most people. That's all.
Most people?
Yeah. I just this was his chance.
Like who?
Chris, this is the way. This is
Will Chamberlain played 4 years with Elgin Baylor and Jerry West and won 1 ring.
This is
Steph won 3.
I want you to go
already.
back. I want you to go back to your narrative about that KD was a luxury and they didn't need him. They went back to 2015. That is not true. They need him.
Know.
That's why Steph begged him to come to the team. Him and Draymond.
They could have won it without him.
Because they could never win. They knew it. When they choked down. When they choked it down.
How many did KD
and Steph
win?
is the author of the biggest choke in NBA history. Steph is the guy.
I wouldn't say that. I'd rather give up a 3-1 lead than
you
get
would
swept.
Not. It's never happened.
Because I'm competitive in 3-1.
It's never happened. 3-1 choke job. That's what Steph. When I think of Steph's career, I think of that.
That's sad. Rob, let me ask you this: How many championships has Kevin Durant won without Steph?
What do you mean?
Why
it's
you
the other
stuttering?
way around?
Why you stuttering? Okay, ask me the question.
How many has Steph won without KD?
1.
And how many has he lost?
2.
Okay.
How many has KD won without Steph?
He was in 1
Stop
and he lost 1.
How many has he won without Steph?
But he didn't.
How many has he won without Steph?
It was him. He won them.
That's stuttering?
That's why he's the MVP, and that's why Steph
my question.
He'd have one championship.
You're losing your mind.
He'd have 1 championship without KD.
Okay,
Everybody
and KD
knows
would have how many without Steph? 0.
No, because he would have gone to another team, and he still would have
done what?
He would have helped that team. He could have gone to Toronto.
He would have
and
had somebody better than Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka and
he could
Steven
have won
Adams.
there because we see what happens when you add him.
877-99 on Fox.
Get off that Steph thing. He ain't that guy.
Can you let me give out the number? You had your chance and you blew it. You had all the ammunition today,
I
and I slaughtered you.
No, you didn't.
877.
Ain't nobody listening to that.
We gonna see. Call
numbers,
up.
padding, stat padding.
Dang, man. Can I give out the number?
Podcast. And Steph, he said, "Are you the MVP?" They asked him. It wasn't. Actually, it was Rex co-host that asked it. And he said, "I got to be." Oh, we got the sound. Here we go.
Real quick, are you the MVP this year?
I mean, I gotta be.
Okay. All right.
I probably won't get it, but I mean, whatever.
No, don't say that.
Keep going like this, and that nobody will be able to.
I'm just setting. Keep this going. I like to be dramatic sometimes, so I'm just setting the table.
I know you do.
All right, Rob Parker, your thoughts?
Softballs all over the place. There you go. That's what you get when you athletes interview other athletes. Just softball city. Why don't people even listen to that
Rob
stuff?
takes that very personal.
I do, Chris. I went to journalism school. I'm sorry. I take it personal, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't get me wrong. When they dress people up and act like they're reporters, I have an issue with it.
So they're in a costume?
Yeah, that's a costume.
They're Halloween costume. I'm a journalist.
Players interviewing other players from questions written by other people. Like, come on. And
what
all
I'll
of them
give you is this.
All of them are soft. I hate it.
I agree with you, and we've talked about it, how a lot of times you don't get the follow-up question. You know, you might hear somebody say, me and LeBron play one-on-one all the time in the summer. It never crosses their mind to ask, who wins?
Right. Or
you beat
right.
LeBron.
Anyway.
But here's one thing I will give them, though, Rob. There is a comfort level, generally, of an athlete with an athlete. And so you do get to see them in a different light than you typically do with journalists. I'll give you that. That's worth something, but you're not going to get the hard-hitting questions and stuff like that. But you do get something out of it just because you get to see them.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they feel like I got a cupcake in front of me. Anyway, Steph Curry pulling a page out of LeBron's book, trying to politic for the award. Just play, Steph Curry. Just play. Well, yeah, it got to be mine. It's mine. Well, they're not going to give it to me.
Robbie's averaging 41 points this month.
That's nice. And you know what? Kobe Bryant averaged 35 and scored. What did he score? 81 points in the game? And they didn't give it to him. He finished fourth. I don't know. The analytic geeks.
My number one vote. Yeah.
I'm asking you, the analytic geeks. Does it not matter now? Is it just Steph launching up threes? I'm asking you.
The analytics geeks do love Steph. You know that.
They do, but more than Jokic?
Yeah. Nah.
Look,
Jokic is going to win. Unless he gets hurt, he's going to win. Or, unless they totally fall off the map.
You know there's a lot of fanboys in the media now.
Because winning does count. So I'm with you on that, Rob. But here's what I got to say. I love it. Steph, do you, baby. Do you. Rob Parker, this is exactly the mentality you got to have if you want to become an all-time great player out of Davidson. Davidson, you can't just come out of Davidson and be Mr. Nice Guy. You can't just come out of Davidson deferring the cats. You got the guts to say, yeah, you're darn Skippy. I'm the MVP.
Well, tonight,
Jokic.
Can I give you tonight?
I'm the
Steph,
MVP.
wait a minute. I want to give you, this is your MVP. Bow down to Steph, the MVP, who's 2 for 10 tonight because the pixie dust is worn off. 4 points heading into halftime with 5 turnovers. That's the Steph Curry I know. I knew it. Because now with the spotlight on him, and it matters now. Now that he's re-entered the race, things have gotten tight on him. What happened, Steph? 5 turnovers? Was this like the turnover he made in the finals?
I bet you he ends up with 30.
Wait, do you remember in the finals?
He ends up with 30.
In the final minute or whatever, he turned the ball over doing a behind-the-back pass. Do you remember that?
Here's what I remember. Here's what I know about Steph in the finals. He averages 27 points a game in the NBA Finals. That's what I know.
I remember Iguodala winning the MVP. That's what I remember.
I don't care about the MVP. 27 points a game in the NBA Finals, more than Kobe Bryant, more than Larry Bird, and so many other greats.
How about when he choked
only
down
averages
a 3-1
23
lead?
in the
Do
regular
you care
season.
about that?
Huh?
When he choked down the NBA Finals, does that bother you at all? No, nothing.
I mean, it ain't to bother me, but it happens. Kevin Durant choked down a 3-1 lead the series before.
Nobody ever did it in the finals, Chris.
James Harden choked down a 3-1 lead.
Never in the finals.
Chris Paul choked down a 3-1 lead.
That was a 73-win team, Chris.
I'd rather do it in the finals than do it in the first or second round.
He had his Tom Brady moment. It's the same exact thing. The Patriots were 18-0.
Yeah. Tom Brady and Steph, boy. Tom Brady and failures right there.
They're the same guy. They're the same guy.
And that's an insult? That's an insult?
Yep.
My goodness.
They need other people.
We can only hope to be in the same sentence with Tom Brady or Steph Curry.
They need other people. They need Iguodala to win an MVP.
Who do you need? Oh, gosh. Iguodala, he averaged 9 more points than Iguodala in that series.
He held LeBron under 50. That's what
right.
That was why he got awarded.
And guess who was guarding Iguodala? Timothy Mozgov from it. The gumption, the audacity to say, yeah. So we the 9th seed. So what? Ain't nobody playing better than me.
2 for 10, 4
Take
points,
that for data.
5 turnovers tonight. There you go. There's
How many is he going to end up with, Rob? How many is he going to end up with?
He's going to end up with 14.
He go, oh, really? You want to bet?
Take that for data.
I bet you he has 30.
He's got four now. It's going to be a bad night.
He has 30.
No, he's averaging. You said he's averaging how many? 30.
He ain't going to get 40, but he going to get 30. He's averaging 40.8 this month.
Why? Let's bet that. He has a big second half, Chris. What you afraid of?
30.
He's your MVP.
Well, hold on. You said 14. Here we go. Closer to 30 or 14. Wings. Lemon pepper. Cool?
14 or 30.
You said 14 points. So whatever he's closest to. If he's closer to 30, I win. If he's closer to 14, you win.
All right, let's do it.
All right, wings, lemon pepper for me. In fact,
and if it ends on 22, you guys got to buy me and Alex wings.
That's fine.
Right. Okay, that'll work.
That's fair.
Exactly 22.
I want my wings from the hotel we stayed in Miami for the Super Bowl.
Well, you know how much it costs to get wings from Miami?
Call them and have them shipped to Chris Broussard.
From Miami? Rob G, those wings in Miami were great at that hotel.
Yeah, they were bougie, but I loved them.
They
were really good.
I don't even think they were on the menu the way you guys were ordering them, but because, it's Broussard and Parker, they're like, yeah, we'll hook you guys up. Right? Because you guys were ordering them, and I don't think they were on the menu the way you were ordering them.
They weren't even lemon pepper. They were garlic parmesan, weren't they?
Yeah, I think. They were so good. Yeah. But they did hook us up. Drew Brees. Right. But I just thought this was an opportunity for Dak Prescott to maybe change some people's minds. The reason that there's so many question marks about him is because of what we saw yesterday. This is the reason I believe he still hasn't been signed. The Cowboys signed everybody. Defensive players, they gave everybody contracts. And whether or not Dak turned down 32 or whatever it was, if they really believed this guy was that guy, they would have said, back up the Brinks truck, because Jared Goff got paid. All these guys got paid. Dak Prescott should be under contract, and it's nights like this. You could talk about Jason Garrett. You could talk about special teams. You could talk about all kinds of other things. He just doesn't make you feel like he is that guy, that elite guy who, when everything's not good, he can win a game against a good team. And last night, to me, was Exhibit A. I'm not going to go crazy on him. I'm not going to call him a fraud, even though I've said it for over and over that I think he's fraudulent when it comes to that. But last night was just a perfect example of just another situation where anti-Dak people could look and go, there it is, another game when he had a chance to prove people wrong and he didn't do it.
I think the anti-Dak people would be being disingenuous to say that, because to expect him to, one, go into Foxborough where the Patriots hardly ever lose, to go up against the number one defense in the league in that weather. Troy Aikman was on the call, said he hated playing in that weather. And you look at Aikman, some of his games and that type of stuff, and he didn't like throwing the ball in that.
But somebody has to win. Somebody has to win the game.
Let me talk. I gave you 5 minutes.
No, it wasn't. It was 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Right. I timed it.
And you didn't make the most of it, I'll say myself. If I do say so myself.
All I had to do was open my mouth. That's all I had to do.
This reflective Rob Park, I don't know. But Brady is used to those elements. Brady is in his home territory. And Dak outplayed him. Or at least played him to a standstill at the very least. He threw for more yards. He had a better completion percentage.
Stop. It's not about yards. It's not about yards. Stop saying yards. No.
Can I finish?
It's not about yards.
I gave you 4.5 minutes where I didn't say a word. You had your chance. You chose to be reflective. You chose to stay
stop
calm.
With the yards.
Then stay there. Stay there.
His quarterback rating was 64. He had no touchdowns again.
You act like having a touchdown automatically means you had a great game. Okay, he had 460 yards and 2 touchdowns against Green Bay. Was that a good game? No. So my point is that in that type of weather, you can't expect him to go up there and light it up. In fact, the whole game plan was screwed up. They should have been running Ezekiel Elliott left, Ezekiel Elliott right. He was getting more than 4 yards a carry. And then the special team screwed him up. You know this. And then there were some drops. And then there was a phantom tripping call where the guy didn't even get tripped.
It's called football drops. It happens all the time.
Look, the bottom line is with the money on the line, he put it where Amari Cooper should have caught it. And then maybe that you extend the drive, who knows? All I'm saying is, again, I said he's en route to being elite, and what I saw yesterday doesn't change my mind.
He's 0-4 against playoff teams. Explain that.
Hold on, you want to talk about
it?
I'm going to explain it. I'm looking at the big picture.
Got an excuse for every time they lose to a good team.
No, it's not an excuse. It's actually called facts. The guy is 38-21 as a starter.
We're talking about right now this year.
Yeah, he was 10-6 last year. They beat the Eagles twice, who were a winning team.
0-4 this year, and the only teams that they've beaten.
I'm not going to put it
all
on him.
The only teams that they've beaten are bad teams. I'm just trying to say.
It's the NFL. Are they en route to make the playoffs?
At some
That's
point.
All that matters.
No, it doesn't matter, Chris.
It does
matter. It doesn't. No,
They'll
it doesn't.
get their chance to beat good teams when they get to the postseason.
You can't keep making excuses for a guy.
I'm not making excuses.
Just acknowledge that when they've played the better teams in the league,
that he's not an elite quarterback.
He's not
I never
elite.
said he was.
He's not elite. And
I never said he is.
And he's not on
en route.
And he's not on route.
And you keep
and he's
throwing
not
out
on
this garbage. This garbage
and he's
about.
Not on route.
You know it. I challenged you on it last Friday, and you couldn't say it. You know he's going to get paid. He wants $40 million. I wouldn't give him $40 million as much as I like him, unless I absolutely have to.
Why not? You said he's elite. He's on his way. Don't you have your quarterback?
Are you listening
the hardest
to me?
Position to
Are you listening
to field
to me?
Is a quarterback.
How many times, Rob Parker, do I have to say he's en route to becoming
what does that mean?
Elite?
What does that mean?
Not elite.
What when?
It means he's getting
when does he
better,
get there?
and he's improving to the point where he will become an elite quarterback.
Dallas is 0-4 against playoff teams. You are what your record says you are.
Okay.
That's what they are.
They are going to be the division winners in their division and make the playoffs and have home field advantage.
By default. By default, they haven't beaten anybody. It's by default.
It is what it is, Mr. Parker.
It's by default.
Whatever you want to call it,
just
get there. Heck, teams that have gotten in by default have won Super Bowl.
Who? Tell me.
Eli
what team?
Manning and the
Giants.
Giants.
Ain't by no default. Are you kidding me?
Wild cards.
That's not by default, a wild card.
It's sneaking in.
No, it ain't. Sneaking in is making the playoffs without beating one team over 500.
I'd rather win a weak division than be a wild card.
The Patriots cheat, and now all we know is here is Chris Broussard making excuses again for Dak Prescott.
Your argument was weak. You had a whole day to come up with that, and that's the best you could do.
Listen, Chris,
38-21.
My argument,
as a starter.
no. My argument's not weak. Your argument is outdated.
And then you're
reading old stats.
You bring
You're
up
reading
this
old
mess
stats.
about that's why he's not paid.
That is why he's not paid. No, I don't know that.
No, he's not paid because he's asking for more.
And they're 0-4. That's all I need to know. And all Cowboy fans, everybody knows it. They watched Dak Prescott lay another egg on national television with everybody watching. No touchdowns against the Patriots. Did we see Lamar Jackson go crazy on that same defense? Chris now said, "What do you expect? It's raining now. And did you want Dak to do? It's bad weather." They were on the outside looking in.
Right.
It's been a remarkable turnaround. And then when they played Cleveland, that game.
Slow up.
Nah, I'm not slowing up.
Remarkable turnaround.
Yes, they were bad.
This is a team that a lot of people picked to get to the Super Bowl.
But not the way.
Talking about?
But not the way that they played.
It's all
when
about
they were
perception. They had a little dry spell. They won 11 games. Rob, you acted like they were 9
but they won their last 6 to win 11 games.
Chumps.
Nah, I'm not buying that. They were a bad football team.
Every other team, you
I'm not doing
for
that.
who if they didn't beat great teams, you always
poo-poo
they
were
Keep
down and out. They were down and out, and a lot of people counted them out. They were on the outside looking in. That team should never have been out of the playoff picture. That they have way too much talent, but they played poorly. And you even questioned it. Oh, they're going to make the playoffs? Oh, I don't know how many times you said, well, they might not make it this year. They might not make it. They're on the outside.
Didn't say that many times.
You said it a few times.
I may have said it once.
And the bottom line is
they beat the Cowboys, the Browns. That's a good win, 47-42. They beat the Jaguars. They beat the New York Giants and the Bengals to end the season. So I'm just saying, slow.
How did they beat them? Did they beat them by 3
They beat the
points. and then-
Giants 27-13. You proud of that? That's great.
Yeah, I am proud of that. 27-13. Look at what are the other scores? Can you go through some of the other scores that they
The
put up?
Bengals without Joe Burrow.
I don't care who's there. Did they put up 40 points?
Now you don't care.
Did they put up 40 points?
When it's Kansas
Nah,
City,
that's not what
or
I'm
when
talking
it's somebody
about.
else, you always say, "Well, they didn't beat anybody." I'm a big stickler for who you beat.
I'm talking
You
about
ripped
where
the
that
Browns
team
last
was,
year
where
'cause
that
they
team
didn't beat anybody.
No,
in your
where
mind.
that team was.
Where
they went
were
to
they?
they went.
I
think
just
they're
think
going
you're
to come out of
going
the AFC.
overboard with some of your words. Tremendous, remarkable. Slow down. It was a good win.
Yeah, like Jordan-esque, right? That's over the top.
I mean, he's only been an MVP
okay,
and
all
a
right,
Super
but that's
Bowl
over the top.
champion in his first 2 years
but it's
as a
still
starter.
over the top.
So
he
that's
ain't win
pretty
no
darn
damn
good.
6 championships to talk about
Stop
some
it. He hadn't even played in
Jordan-esque.
6 years. Can you keep it on?
That's
on the
Jordan-esque.
facts?
Stop
One
it.
championship
He hadn't
ain't
even played
Jordan-esque.
6 years,
6
Rob.
championship is why you say Jordan-esque, Chris, not one.
Oh, so you can't say it until he
no,
wins 6? Really?
No, because one
Stop
ain't
it.
Jordan-esque.
Well,
That's
everybody
it.
doesn't have to sit and wait until it happens to say it like you.
Okay, that's what I'm
Some
trying.
people can
that's
make
my point.
projections. I don't know. That's your point. I'm saying I can sometimes look at somebody.
And some people are just prisoner of the moment, and they get over the top. And you talk about me going over the top.
Is overrated?
That's what
is that
you
what you're
are.
saying?
That's not what I said. You ain't
No,
hear
you
me say
did.
that.
You
didn't
did
hear
because
me
I'm
say
not the
that.
only one that's compared you to Michael Jordan.
That's it. Oh no, you
I'm not
are.
the
You
one
said
that-
you
I'm not
coined
the
it.
one that said,
you
hold
said
on.
you coined it. You're the one who said.
Well, no,
you're the
I
one
was
bragging
the one that
about
coined
it. You're the one.
Everybody copied
You
me.
said he was going to win the MVP this year. It was hands down. You remember that? Let's
Yeah,
get
I
that
do.
hot take.
And that was fine.
Let's get that hot
What
take.
you want, a cookie?
No, I don't
'Cause I
want
was
to. I'm
wrong
just
on my
saying.
MVP pick,
No,
so
we're
what?
hey, we're all wrong. All I'm saying is a lot of people counted out the Baltimore Ravens,
Who?
and they're back.
Who?
They're back.
Stop
a lot
it.
of people.
You want a pat on the back? You've been patting yourself
I'm not
on the back.
patting
I don't
myself.
need to pat you on the back.
I'm telling you that I picked them. That's all.
Turnaround. Will you stop
It was a remarkable
It was a
turnaround
good win.
from left
They're
for
back.
dead to
Yes,
6
they're a
wins in a
contender.
row. And they went to Tennessee and stopped
6
a
wins in a
2,000-yard rusher. Held them to 40.
Cowboys, Giants, Jaguars. Will you slow down?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all been?
Doing good.
man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, trying to make it. But, hey, Chris, you got some amnesia when it comes to the Ravens, man. I remember you vividly laying into them like 2 or 3 months ago.
Thank
like,
you.
oh, man,
What the hell?
this
Go
is a
tell me what I
fall from
said.
grace. Oh, Lamar, the MVP not going to make the playoffs. Did they figure him out?
Yes.
I remember all of that. And
I said if the MVP doesn't make the playoffs.
no, I'm saying you were like, what, Lamar?
They were out of the playoffs.
He's not. Yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, don't act like the pressure wasn't like heightened for some weird reason. Like, oh, this is what we've been waiting on. Like Lamar, like he about to fall apart. Like they done figured him out. Like it was all of that talk.
I'm just
And I
saying nobody thought they were a bad team. I don't remember anybody thinking they were a bad team. Falling off a little bit, not what they.
No, people thought like they were like going like tanking, like going like in the dirt, like.
Yes,
Yeah,
like they
like
were
some
not
people
going to
thought
make
like
the
they were no
playoffs.
doubt.
They were out of the playoffs. People
Yes,
thought
but
they
it was
might not make the playoffs.
Yeah,
They
but
were in
people
the
with
hunt,
that
though.
talent, that's all we're trying to say, Chris. You were a little harder than you're trying to act. You got amnesia right now, as if Shaq that he doesn't know what he said, but it's all good.
Shaq,
You know how Chris rolls.
I don't know
He
what
forgets
you talking
stuff
about, man.
when he goes crazy on stuff. But it's all good.
But go ahead. And
What
at
if
this
the
point,
Browns
they're all
upset the Chiefs? Are you going to be rooting for the Browns? You're from Cleveland.
Nah, I'm rooting for Kansas City.
Why?
'Cause that was
I
my
thought
pick.
you were a Browns fan.
That was my pick. I didn't say I was Brown. I said I'm from Cleveland.
Yes, you are. Oh, you said you wanted the Browns. You don't want the Browns to
I
win?
wanted them to beat the
You from-
Steelers.
That's where your parents live. All of a sudden, you're not with the Browns. Because you want your
Kansas
narrative
City.
to be right. You don't want to. You
It's
don't
not
want
a
to go back.
narrative, it's a
Yeah.
pick.
Okay.
I want to rub it in your face.
Now, what does that sound
No, but
like?
you know.